Alrighty, what's up everybody? It is I, your Tribal God of Extreme, Peter Joseph here, for a Monday afternoon video. Right here on the main channel, Killer of Demons 669. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like the video, hit the subscribe button down in my goddamn pants, otherwise known as the description box below. So, show my other channels your love and support. All the links are down there in the gobbledygook down there in the description box as well. Leave a comment on this video or any one of my videos from the past, now, and in the future, Conan, but all these stupid comments you get sent to the Shadow Realm, eaten by Satan and Ozzy's dogs, and then Ozzy and Satan will come out and, well, pretty much, if there's anything left, they'll still eat your soul. So, go do all your garbage on your garbage channels, because you're not going to do it on mine. You don't like it? Well, that's tough shit, bitch. Cry about it. And that's that. Share the video all over the internet. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And don't forget to tap and slap that bell to turn on all notifications so you don't miss the next one. Because if you miss anything, you need to get slapped because you're SOL. You know what that means. If you don't know what that means, we might slap you even more. So, it is what it is. And if you don't like that, that's too bad. We move on. Alright, so like, share, subscribe, do all that other good shit. And we move on. And if you're brand new here, well, welcome to the party, pal. We hope you enjoy the ride. Sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice, tasty, cold one. We got Fruit Punch Powerade today. We drink a little light today. But in any case, whatever you got, sit back, relax, put your stinky, smelly feet up, and enjoy the show. If you like it, great. You don't, too bad. That's that. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it is a hazy, cloudy, not too cold day. Monday, March the 23rd, 2026, as we start the final official week of March and the first official week of spring. Gonna get up to 60 by Wednesday around my neck of the woods, so that's pretty damn nice. Gonna be nice for the Met game on Thursday. I know the Yankees play on Wednesday night on Netflix. Nobody's gonna watch that, but nobody cares, because everybody's gonna be watching Dynamite. But it is what it is. So baseball is back. I'll be doing a baseball review tomorrow on episode 107B, well, the official 107 of the Shadow Slayer. So we're talking about baseball tomorrow and some wrestling in between, and then we'll see what happens with that as we get into the 2026 baseball season, and we'll see if the Dodgers can go for a three-peat or their reign of terror will finally end. And we'll see what happens with all that. We move on. Alright, guys. Hope you're having a great Monday. Hope you have a great week. And Easter is almost here. We are 13 days away from the Easter Bunny coming to town. And next Friday is, I believe, Good Friday is next Friday. So be good on Good Friday. And this Sunday is the Troll's favorite holiday. That's Palm Sunday. So, get out the Kyrgyz lotion on Sunday, you fuckers that don't get any. But, I digress on that. But it is what it is. But that. Alright, so we got Easter coming away. Spring is just about starting. And, days are getting longer. Sun's gonna be out, so about 7:30-ish, 7:45, getting close to by April. And then by May and June, it's around 8:30. When the sun goes down, and then dark by 9 o'clock. You gotta love that. And then back up it goes right around mid-June, early July. And then by the time we hit October, it's like 5:30 when the sun goes down, and then when we turn the clock back, it's back at 4:30. So dark at 4:45 really by the time we hit November. But it is what it is. But we get that. Hope hope everybody has a great spring and even better summer coming up in late June, early July. But let's get there before we even talk about the summer. That's that. Alright, guys. We got Monday Night Raw tonight. We got Brock Lesnar on tonight to see if we can get revenge on Femi. What happened last week with him. CM Punk is in the house along with my tribal chief. Our tribal chief, and mine, Roman Reigns. Roman's in the house tonight in the TD Garden Arena in Boston, Massachusetts. It's going to be a great night. We got my first and second hot Asian wives, Oscar and Kyrie, taking on their bird lady, Lyra Valkyria, and Bailey. Give me a hug. So they're going one-on-one. Laban, Becky Lynch on tonight. It is a stacked card tonight in Boston, and then next week is in Madison Square Garden, the mecca of all sports arenas. And we're almost there. We're almost at WrestleMania. We got a little bit of a pit stop with Stunned and Deliver for NXT. And then we got Dynasty coming up for AEW. Rebellion's coming up as well for TNA. And then we're at Mania. And then after Mania, we got Backlash. That's May the 9th, I think. But I won't be able to watch that. If it's May 9th, I'm not watching it live because I will be out that day. I'm not going to watch it live. I'll probably watch the replay because I am going to be at a concert that night. So I'll probably just get notifications to see who won. But we'll see what happens with that. But anyway, guys, on your Monday afternoon, I got a couple of videos coming your way before we get to Monday Night Raw. But right now, on video number 1, it is time for your late and out-of-date WWE Smackdown thoughts. You understand? Thoughts. Alright. So, little mini review for Smackdown. From March the 20th, 2026. From the Novo Center. The Novo Center in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's Flair country. Woo! We'll see what happens with that. And as always on Friday Night Smackdown, our commentary team of Joe Tessitore and my good buddy who plays a great electric twanger. That's guitar for you dumb people at home. And that's Bad News Reed Bennett. And I'm afraid that got some bad news for you. We got that. Alright, so pretty good show on Friday night. We start with a look at what Randy Orton and his mother's voice did last week, kicking Cody in his imaginary balls, because he doesn't have any. Signed a contract for WrestleMania, and then bloodied him up. Smashed the chair on his head in front of the ring steps, so we're gonna see what happens with that. Cody will be on the show this Friday night. Not that we can't give a shit, but he's back to get revenge. Ooh, I'm so scared, Cody. I'm so scared. We get that. Alright, so we got that. Then we see various talent arriving into the building. And then referees and even Nick Aldis are running into the dreaded parking lot. I'm like, oh boy. Those parking lots, man, they are dangerous. Even the indie parking lot. But I digress. So we see an accident, a really bad accident happen, and then Drew McIntyre is there, and he pulls Jacob Fatu, out through the broken windshield, as he T-boned, not like that, but he T-boned Jacob in another car. Well, those rentals, man, they're expensive, I bet. Anyway, so he takes him out of the car, starts hammering away, and then Jacob's busted wide open, obviously from the crash, not from, I don't know, from the windshield or whatever. But anyway, so that's that. And then Drew goes into the arena to ask, what did you think was going to happen? Oh, he is pissed. He wanted to go to the main event of WrestleMania, and tells Jacob, you took that from me. And then Nick Aldis and security come from the parking lot, go to the ring. Aldis says that the only thing you're heading to is unemployment. Ooh, he's about to fire him. Why didn't you just fire him already? That's surprising. And then Drew Drew's like, oh, you want to fire me? How about I bring up Donovan, your son, with Mickey James, and how horrible a father you are. Oh, shit. Bam! Right in the nuts. Loved it. And then Jacob Fatu comes out of nowhere, and they start brawling again. He throws Drew into the ring post, and then throws him on the announce table, and then all the referees like, no, don't do it, and Jacob does a big splash through the announcer's table, and he's bleeding. He's like, ah! He's going nuts! Chaos! Violence! You gotta love it! That was a great segment. Great way to open a wild WWE Smackdown. Holy shit. Somebody put him in Hell in a Cell. Or a cell, but I digress. Alright, so I gave the first segment 4 out of 5 stars. It was just wild, and I loved it. We don't condone violence. We love it, but we don't condone it. So that's all I gotta say about that. 4 out of 5 stars for that. And we move on. Alright, after the break, we're gonna look at what just happened. Because we're still processing it, and we get it 50 more times. So people who didn't watch the beginning of the show, now you know what happened. So we move on. Alright, then we officially get to match number 1 for the Smackdown Tag Team titles. We got the MFTs, represented by JC Mateo and Tama Tonga. Yeah! Resident Gremlin. The actual good-looking gremlin, by the way. Anyway. They take on the Dark Truth, Poppy Priest, and Arya Fool. I thought those would be a little bit longer, but you get that. The rest of the MTs are ringside. Solo! Nibuki with the lantern. Tonga Loa, Hikuleo. They're there. Priest grabs a lifting downward spiral to start fast on Jason Mateo. Tama Tonga gets taken out as well. And then Hikuleo takes R-Truth off the apron. And we go to break. We come right back. Jason Mateo standing moonsault. Hits Poppy for a near fall. But eventually, Priest kicks him right in the face. Gets the hot tag to R-Fool, who does his usual Cena stuff. Everything breaks down. Poppy gets knocked to the outside. Truth hits a stunner of all things into the STF. Or STFU. Well, AA, what do you want to call it? That gets broken up, and Hikuleo chokeslams R-Truth on the apron. Ow! Like, what's the referee doing? No disqual. I guess. I don't know where the referee was doing. Do something, referee! Do something! You moron. Anyway, then the Wyatts come out. Really, it was just, I think it was, Eric Rowan and the other guy, I forget, damn it. Dexter and Joe Gacy come out. They go after the people that are not there. And then Uncle Howdy's at ringside. He gets beat up a little bit. But amidst all that chaos, and the referee's just letting it go, I guess, R-Truth hits the AA, I think on JC Mateo. 1, 2, 3, we have new Smackdown Tag Team Champions, and Poppy's like, what? Poppy didn't even know. They didn't even tell Damian Priest they were gonna win the tag team belts. It was just a big surprise. I'm like, wait a minute, I'm champ with him? Hey, stranger people have been tag team champions. Remember when Edge and Hogan were champs for like a week? That was horrible. I didn't like that, but thankfully they lost the titles like after like a week or so. To me, no sense to have Hogan as a tag team champion. Wait, but oh no, Hogan's been a Triple Crown champion. WCW titles, WWF titles. Now, he won the tag team titles. He didn't need to win like a mid-card title, like the Intercontinental title, the US title, or any titles in WCW, or even in Japan. I don't even think he won the New Japan World title. I don't think he ever did. Well, if he did, now he's a Grand Slam champ. But that's that. But anyway, R-Truth and Poppy Priest, the Dark Truth, are the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Match was, 2.5 out of 5 stars, and that's pretty much it. Right, but Poppy will take it. He's like, what? What? We won? What? How? What? Where? What? We won? I got a belt? Good! Take the titles and be happy. That's all I gotta say. Alright, then we go to back with the Bella Sluts. Nikki and Brie, they're ready for the tag team, women's tag team titles against the Irresistible Forces. That's Nia, Jax, and Lash Legend. Get shit done. So I'm ready for that. And then Alexa, Charlotte, and Ms. Bliss, Alexa Bliss, eating ice cream. They come up, mock them for being selfish, and jump the line. And Brie just takes Alexa Bliss's spoon. Alexa's like, hey, I was eating that. I wonder what flavor that ice cream was. Maybe it was pralines and ick. Wayne's World 1 reference. If you were an ice cream flavor, you would be pralines and ick. I don't know how that tastes, and I don't want to know. Alright, 2.25 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we go further in the back. Candice LeRae doesn't know how to fix her husband Johnny Gargano, who's still lying down on the crate. And then, Mr. Danhausen! I will curse you. He pops in. He thinks something's wrong. Candice's like, hey, can you fix it? So he asks her if she has $20 million. So I think it was $20, not $20 million. So she reaches into Johnny's pocket, pulls out some cash, gives it to him. He gives it to Mr. Danhausen. Danhausen's like, ooh, very nice, very evil. I'm gonna go buy myself a shirt now. So he leaves, and then the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin come in. Sabin tells Alex Shelley to keep walking because they have a match. Okay. And I heard a story that Candice is trying to recruit the Machine Guns. They're going to have some type of faction with her, Johnny, and the Machine Guns to try to resurrect Johnny's career. That makes no freaking sense, but okay. Moving on. That's that. Alright, after that, and I gave that 2.25 out of 5 stars. Then we get fan reactions to Randy Orton, his heel turn on Cody Rhodes. Hey, why didn't you show Issa's reaction, you bastards? Just saying. Just saying. Issa is the queen of reactions. The queen. And I don't understand why you didn't show her reaction. She's the Roman girl, you know, as people call her, the Roman Reigns girl. They don't even know her real name is Issa. The Demon Diva. The Shining Star, Puerto Rico. She's one hot piece of ash. That's not two. She loves me. I love her too. Alright, get that. Alright, Sami Zayn can't stop thinking about Cody, who always tries and goes the extra mile. Now look what happened to him. And maybe that ends with Randy winning the belt, so maybe Sami's worldview is wrong. And then Trick Willie Shaboon in white and his lemon pepper steppers. I gotta get me some of those. Maybe at the Men's Warehouse. Yeah, maybe I'll go there later this week. Maybe they have them. Anyway, Trick Willie comes in, mocks him, so Sami's ready to fight. But Trick's like, okay, want to fight? Let me check my Palm Pilot. That's going way back. And I'll get back to you. Okay. So that situation's still going on. Trick and Sami. We get that. Alright, after that, I give that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we get to Fraxium, A-Kid, and Ben Frazier taking on the Motor City Machine Guns, Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Decent match for 8 minutes. So with Ben Frazier grabbing a basic headlock on Alex Shelley. Sabin comes in, knocks A-Kid off the apron. And then Fraxium get back up, clear the ring, we go to break, come right back. See, Ben Frazier hits a running flippy, take out both the guns on the floor. And then they go back in. Fraxium hits Chasing the Dragon. Oh, somebody's gonna be mad. Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly's finisher. Both of them are gonna be mad. I might have to talk to them if I could get them. You know, they're kind of MIA right now. But anyway, they hit Chasing the Dragon on Chris Sabin. Sabin somehow kicked out of that. But Sabin breaks up a Super Hurricanrana attempt. Gets the hot tag to Alex Shelley for the comeback.
Candice LeRae comes out to watch. And then all four men are in the ring. Fraxium knocks him to the outside for more flippy dippity doos. And then back in the ring, Chris Sabin kicks out of a fruit roll-up, which allows Candice LeRae to cheap shot Ben Frazier and like smacked him in the mouth. Bop. And then Sabin with another fruit roll-up. 1, 2, 3. Hey, the Motor City Machine Guns finally got a goddamn win. How long has it been? I don't know, but that rhymed. Been a long time since the Motor City Machine Guns got the win. And now with this possible faction going on with them, Candice, and Johnny Gargano, let's see how that goes. Let me move on. Alright, then we're going to look at the Drew McIntyre Chico Fatu brawl again from earlier in the night. Then we're going to look at Roman basically ripping CM Punk apart again on Raw last week. I think he's going to do it again tonight. We'll see what happens with that. And then Randy Orton in his voice. He comes out for a little kitty chat, sitting in a chair. Talks about how much love he's received from the fans since he came back about a couple months ago. He still signs autographs, tells kids happy birthday, all that stuff, but it's such an empty feeling. He wants his legacy to be about world titles. He's going for number 15. And he was ready to go get another one against Drew McIntyre. Then Cody took the title, thanks to Jacob. And Randy wasn't sure if he was going to win. But Randy says, Cody, you helped me out. By telling him to be the best version of himself that he could be, because he started listening to the voices in his head. They talk to him, they counsel him, they come to me. They talk to me! Randy doesn't always stay in control when that happens, but this time they are telling him that he's going to win the title at WrestleMania when he beats Cody with the Gilly Cutter. I mean, RKO. Bang. The fans are really behind Orton, even if he's a heel right now. So, it is what it is. 09 Orton's kind of back. You love it. That's that. Alright, 3 out of 5 stars for that. Move on. Alright, then we get a video on the Bella Sluts return that we didn't care about. We don't care. We move on. Alright, after the break, we come back from break. Randy's in the back. He runs into Matt fucking Cardona, who's saying, hey, what's up with that, man? What's up with all this shit? What's going on with you, dude? He's like, how could you do that to Cody? I thought you were friends, blah, blah, blah. Orton doesn't want to hear it. He's like, you're questioning me? He's like, why don't you go play with your action figures, you Mark-ass stooge, Indie Mark? Damn! And then he's like, you know what? I'm done. Boom! Laid him out. Laid him out with a shot to the head. Woo, woo, woo! You're dumb. And that's pretty much it. 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, back to the ring we go. We got Zelina Vega. Oh, yes. She comes out with her husband, Tommy End, otherwise known as Aleister Black. He takes on Sami Zayn. Trick Willie at ringside. Sits at, well, not on commentary, but sits near commentary. This was a pretty good match, 9.5 minutes. Mr. Black strikes away fast. Sami pounds away on him in the corner. Fight back. Go to break, come back. Aleister strikes away. Sami fights back. Gets elbowed in the face as Trick drinks some water. I guess it's water from wherever he got it from. Probably stole from Wade Barrett. I don't know. Anyway, Aleister's leg lock is broken up, but the hell of a kick missed, which allows Aleister Black to hit a middle rope Meteora. Then he manages to get up. Sami manages to get up, knocks him to the outside with some rams into the barricade. Ow! Back in. They go back in, but Aleister rolls back to the floor, avoids a hell of a kick. Sami falls, knocks Trick's feet off the ropes. I think it was not, well, I don't know if he's on the ropes or he's on the announce table. Knocks it off. So Trick's like, throws his drink at him. And then Sami got all mad, starts beating up on Trick for a while. You know, he was about to get counted out. He goes back in. That was a bad decision. He gets up. Boom! Black mass. Good night. And then Aleister hit it, and he's like, you shouldn't have never gotten in the ring, dumbass. 1, 2, 3, Aleister Black gets the win over Sami Zayn thanks to Trick Willie in 9.5 minutes. Match was decent, 3 out of 5 stars, and that's that. Alright, we're in the back. Matt fucking Cardona goes up to Nick Aldis and says, I want Randy Orton now. Nick's like, no. And then Carmelo Hayes, him, the U.S. champ, he comes in and asks Nick about the U.S. Open Challenge. Nick says somebody has already taken him up on his offer. And then, the Zah! Ilya Dragunov comes in. We're going to have a match with them. Carmelo approves of that, so we got Ilya versus him, 3 in a tree. So, that's going to be an amazing match, and we'll see what happens with that. Alright, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, Nia, Jax, and Lash Legend, not worried about losing the belts to the Bella sluts, and they're not worried about any of the other teams coming after them either. So, we get that. Alright, then the SmackDown Women's Champion, Jade Cargill, comes out for a little kitty chat, wastes no time, calls out Mommy Rhea Ripley, who promptly comes out, My brutality! And they're not wasting any time, they're ready to fight. Rhea doesn't want to talk to Jade anymore and hopes she's out here for a fight. Jade, and what she was wearing, oh, you can see her tatas, she's a baddie. Anyway, so Jade says this is about what Rhea needs, because she doesn't need anything, including the fans. Mommy says, I need this because I live for this. I've been doing this since I was 16 years old, and this is what matters the most to me. And Jade says, you're just Io Sky's bitch! Oh, wait a minute. Io's my bitch. Get it right. But Mommy says that title needs her, so she's gonna take it. And she says, welcome to the big leagues, bitch! And then she offers Jade the first shot. She's like, come on, hit me, come on! But Jade's like, no, on my time. And then B-Fab and Mia Yim come out. I'm like, uh-oh. They're about to beat up Jade. What? Nope. They get in the ring and beat the crap out of Rhea Ripley, so they turn. They're now, I guess, the new baddies, they're calling them. Well, I don't know what they're going to call them. Besides the new baddies. Big old beat down on Rhea Ripley, and that's pretty much it. They laid her out with candlesticks and beat down. And Jade's like just smiling down, like, haha, look what I did, haha. So now, they're saying that Io might join in, maybe have a tag match next week with B-Fab and Mia Yim, but eventually, Io will help Mommy get the belt at Mania, and then I think eventually Mommy turns or Io turns, and then we got that, maybe a Backlash, or we go all the way up to maybe Clash in Italy, or Night of Champions. And Night of Champions will probably not be in Saudi Arabia if this Iran war continues. I say, why don't you just have Night of Champions in New York? And who knows if WrestleMania is going to be in Saudi Arabia next year. And if not, I say have it in New Orleans, where it should have been. See, Hunter, I got ideas. Sign me up. Fuck Saudi Arabia, bring it back to the States, where it belongs. Or just go to London for WrestleMania. I mean, you got options. Just get out of Saudi Arabia before, it gets nuked. God forbid. You don't need that, but anyway, moving on. Alright, so that Jade Rhea Ripley segment, gave 2.5 out of 5 stars. Alright, this, was it this segment? No. Kit Wilson! He's not sure what to think of what's going on. The Miz talks about having a horrible week. His family vacation in Disney was ruined because of bad weather in Hawaii. I thought they went to Disney World. So they went to Hawaii, they had bad weather. I think something with his luggage. And it has a horrible sunburn on his back. And then Mr. Danhausen, he slaps both of them on the back. And Miz still won't mentor him. Then I think he left, and a ladder falls down behind them. And Miz tells Kit Wilson to go do this on his own. because he's doing some stuff with Joey Roll. That's that. Then another ladder falls on the Miz, and we were hearing all these weird noises all night. No, Mr. Danhausen's cursing the entire show. So we move on with that. Alright, so that's 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then Solo Milwaukee yells at the MFTs about the tag team title loss. Doesn't want to hear about the Wyatt 6. He's like, and then Tama Tonga says, Solo, you're starting to sound like Roman. Uh-oh. And everybody's like, oh, kind of. And then Solo's like, what did you say? And then Jacob and Drew come in and they start another fight into the gate area. And then McIntyre gouges the eyes of Jacob, but then eventually Jacob gets out of that, and then craziness after that. It's crazy. So we get all that. So I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we find out that Rodzilla, Dennis Rodman's going to the Hall of Fame. Check that video out on my Peter Joseph channel. And we get to that. Alright, then we get to the United States title match. Ilya Dragunov, Carmelo Hayes, 3 in a tree. An amazing match. I'm not going to go through all of it. Running flippy dippity doo connects. Hayes crashes into the announce table. Ow. Back in, frog splash gives Carmelo a near fall. Not like Eddie, because Eddie didn't like that. Right, Eddie? I didn't like it. Okay. And Carmelo banged up his ribs a little bit. Dragunov gets in a German suplex into a top rope backsplash for a near fall. Then it's time for the coast to coast. He hits that. Carmelo comes back with the first 48 out of midair. Dragunov then manages an H-bomb on the way down. That was nice. Goes to the cover, and Melo got his foot on the rope for a break. Dragunov can't believe it. We go to another break, come back. Dragunov hits a Death Valley driver on the apron. Ow. Back in, Dragunov takes Melo up top. Superplex is reversed into a Giddy Kata. Bang! Melo stole that. Gotta pay me. Gets a near fall out of that. Then they strike it out. Melo hits an Inzagiri, but Ilya stomps him for a near fall. Goes for Torpedo Moscow that gets counted into the first 48 for another near fall. And Hayes is like, what? He goes up top looking for nothing but the bottom of the net. But Dragunov comes back with a Torpedo Moscow. Tries to go for the cover. It couldn't go for the cover. But instead he loads up a power bomb, which gets counted into a sunset flip, almost like Code Red. 1, 2, 3, Melo retains the title in just under 16 minutes. Another classic from these guys. I loved it. 3.5 out of 5 stars. Melo gets the win and is still your reigning defending United States champion. I think he's had a great reign so far. Excellent reign. We move on. Alright, we're in the back. Joey Roll praises the new tag team champions, Poppy Priest and R-Truth, on their win. Then he goes up to Randy Orton and apologizes for last week. Joey Roll understands what's going on, hopes that Randy realizes what he means to the people. Randy has worked so hard to get here, doesn't know why he would want to be the 2009 version. And Joey Roll offers him help to get him back to good graces. And Randy seems like, you know what? I'm interested. Or is he? We'll see what happens with that. 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we're going to look at Oba Femi beating the shit out of Brock Lesnar on Raw last week. So, if you didn't see it again, you get to see it again. Or if you didn't see it the first time, you get to see it the second time. Alright, then Kit Wilson. He's out in the ring, calls out Joey Roll. Wants to sell things like men. So Joey Roll needs to get out here. So Joey Roll comes out. Kit Wilson rolls straight to the floor. He wants a referee out to have a match. But Joey Roll says that. And then Kit Wilson says, I fight with my words. And Joey was like, you do what? So he thinks that Kit brought him all the way here for a rap battle. But this is a slam poetry battle. Then the lights go out. Well, they don't go out. They go down a bit. And then Kit Wilson pulls out his book. His book of poems, everybody! Then he makes himself a poet! Joe was like, you got a book? You brought a book? Okay. So then Kit reads from the book, talks about Jericho's criminal past, and Jericho's jaw is hanging open. And says you're fat, and you got a criminal past, something like that. Then he brings up Ozempic. He says, I could have called you a jerk, but guess what? Ozempic really does work. And then Joe's like, oh shit, he knows he's getting obliterated. And then Joey Roll comes back, says, blah blah blah, I slept with your mom. Okay. And then Kid Wilson jumps from behind, jumps on top rope, corkscrew elbow, that was pretty damn nice. And that's pretty much it. So, I don't know, I think it's going towards WrestleMania. I really don't want to see it, but, gotta do something. But, it was a pretty decent segment, then it got funny. So, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars just for spite. And that's that. We move on. Alright, we're in the back. The Women's U.S. Champ, who hasn't defended a belt in a while. Thanks, Hunter. Michael Julia, is not happy with Kiana James for losing last week. Kiana doesn't want to hear about that. And then, Alba Fire rolls in Madam President, my president, Chelsea Green. And Chelsea offers to team up with them against Tiffy Tiff. And I guess somebody else. But Julia doesn't need any help. Yeah, basically. She should just get away from Kiana James. Just let her be herself, please. It's getting retarded. That's that. Anyway, 2 out of 5 stars for that. Just, Moving on. Alright, Joey Roll is in the back. He wants Kit Wilson. Nick Aldis gives him a match for next week, so that's going to be boring as fuck. We don't need to see this! This could have been an email. It could have been on Dark or Revolution. Oh, not Revolution. Evolution. But that goes. Moving on. 2 out of 5 stars for that. Alright, then we get to the women's tag team titles on the line. Lash Legend and Nia. Woo! Jax taking on Brie and Nikki, the Bella Sluts. 8-minute match. Nothing really happening at first. Then Charlotte and Lexi come out for a distraction, which allows Lash to clean house. Gonna break, come back. Mode! She hits the knee on Nia Jax, and then fires off the Yes! Kicks. But Nia just headbutts her in her stinking garbage head. And then the champs go outside for a little breather. Nikki dives onto both of them. Throws them back in. A super Samoan drop into a middle rope splash. Damn. I think that was by Nia. Has Nikki in trouble. Brie makes the save on the cover. Then Nikki gets the fearless lock on Lash Legend. So Nia grabs one of the tag belts. But Charlotte cuts her off. And then they have a big old brawl on the outside. Referee calls a DQ. So that's it. So Lash and Nia still the champs. But the tag team division is all in chaos right now. So, might be a triple threat. Then you got Asuka and Kairi, Lyra and Bayley. I still think they should just do a gauntlet match for the titles at Mania. That's what I think. But we'll see what happens with that. Match-wise, 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's that. After the match, the Bells go after Charlotte and Lexi. But the Irresistible Forces take them out. And they just beat the crap out of everyone. Lay them out. That's what champs do. And we move on. Alright, then we go to the back. Randy Orton and his voice. He's on the phone with somebody. Probably that person who was on about a week ago. So I think he said, yeah, did you see what happened? Yeah. I bet you saw what happened. And the person on the phone, he wants Randy to go back out to the ring and fix this. So Randy's like, yep, I'm going to go back out to the ring and I'm going to fix this. Okay? Whatever that was. And whoever it is, I still think it's Shane O'Mac. People saying it's Cowboy Bob Orton, it's Kevin Owens, it's The Rock. Probably is The Rock, but you never know. I think we're going to find out maybe this week, maybe in a couple weeks before we hit Mania. So we got that. Alright, then we get to the final segment of the night. Randy comes out, sits in his chair again, though he shakes hands with a kid. Why not? Takes his time with his entrance. Then he gets in the ring, says, I want to make a public apology to Matt Cardona. So Matt, come on out. Matt comes out. Randy immediately apologizes, says that I was out of line. I'm just going through a lot of shit. Says you're my boy and everything. Then they hug. And then Randy goes for a handshake. And, you know, that's not going to work. They shake. Randy kicks Matt in his balls. Woo, 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 you got no balls. And then he hits the RKO. And he takes Matt outside. Look to do what he did to Cody last week. Goes up the steps. Agents like Jason Jordan and, you know, Jason Jordan, Petey Williams, and company, they all come out for the save. Fans are chanting for Randy, and then Randy throws Matt back inside, pounds on him for a little bit, puts his forearm or his arm in the chair, boom, Pillmanizes it. So woo woo woo, your arm go bye bye. Then the fans are like, do it again. Well, that's not gonna happen because they don't do it. So we don't do that. And then Nick comes out, starts yelling at Randy. Let's say, well, you need to calm down. Just calm down. Come to the back. We'll talk about it. But we see Jacob and Drew fighting on the outside even more. And Nick and company have to go all the way to the back, to the parking lot. And we see them climbing a tower in the back. Something like a scaffold tower. And Nick and company are like saying, come on, get down from there. They're beating the crap out of each other on the scaffolding. And then Drew's, he goes over the scaffold a little bit. Jacob follows him. Jacob, takes his head, takes Drew's head, bam! And Drew's like, and then he does it again. Drew falls back, but he takes Jacob with him. They crash into I don't know what. Whatever was behind the fence. Could be barbed wire, could be razor wire, who knows. And then the show ends, and they were supposed to have a street fight on the show. That didn't happen. Now, it looks like it's going to be a last man standing match at WrestleMania. Fun. Didn't Drew have that last year with Poppy Priest? They had a Las Vegas street fight. So, we're doing it again. But this time it's going to be Drew versus Jacob in a last man standing match. Is going to be insane and brutal. Fans are going to love it. I'm going to love it. Well, we'll see what happens with that. But, oh no, that's Smackdown, ladies and gentlemen. And it was wild. It was crazy. I loved it. I want more of it. So, I'm going to give Smackdown 7.5 out of 10 stars. Let me know what you guys thought of the show down below in the comment section. Electric Woody would say, let's talk about it. And that's that. Alright guys, I gotta get out of here. I got some stuff to do. I will be back in a little bit with your TNA and Ring of Honor reviews for this week. Right here, once again, on the Killer Demons channel. And then maybe before Raw, we'll talk about Dynamite and Collision, because there was 2 Collision episodes. So, maybe a triple threat tonight, and then we'll talk about Raw tomorrow. And that's pretty much it. Alright guys, I am out of here. Thanks for watching, until next time. Peace, motherfuckers.